Hello everyone, we're going to go through a few tips and tricks that I personally use that you may have not noticed through my gameplay. So if you are new or if you're a veteran, maybe these tips can help you along your journey. And with that, let's get started. So the first tip that I can give you guys is, of course, skip cutscenes. Now, what you need to do is go to Systems, you go straight down to Character Configuration, and then we're going to stick to the control settings. And it's going to be down in General. You're going to have a little section that says Cutscene Skipping. I want you to literally click on all of these and enable all of them. So this is typically what you would have, so I want you to just enable all three of these. By doing this, you can actually just skip all the cutscenes that you've seen before. Cutscenes like the more classical one, the more atrociously grinding one, which is feeding your own chocobo or training it. So I just enabled all cutscenes. Typically, if I were to feed my chocobo or train it, there would be some kind of ridiculous cutscene that the chocobo would show, and you don't want to see that every single time. Or, for example, if you're running through a new dungeon, or just the biggest example of all, if you're running through the main scenario dungeon, that you are unable to skip the cutscenes anymore. But back in the day, you were able to skip all these cutscenes. So that only affects the cutscenes you haven't seen before. Whoop, I forgot. This is also a great thing if you're making guides and you want to see the cutscenes from the dungeons or the trials or etc. But otherwise, you may as well just remove this, get rid of it, so you don't have to go through it every single time you run through it. So the second tip I can give you guys is filtering away battle effects. For example, the healer is spamming their white mage holies. You want to remove that from the field. You want to remove other things, but not completely, right? You don't want to remove the essentials like healers tossing down bubbles, or DPS tossing out your limit break if it's like a straight line or if it's like a circle. You don't want to remove those battle effects, but for the most part, you want to remove all the tedious animations and all the particle effects, all that stuff. Just get rid of them all from the screen. So we're going to go to Systems, then we're going to go to the Character Configuration, stay on Control Settings, but we're going to go straight to Character. So on the top right, the top corner, you're going to go to Character and you're going to go down to Battle Effects Setting. You want to keep on Show All if you want to see all of your animations, which definitely want to keep that. On the other settings, excluding PvP, go straight to Show None. And then finally, the most important one, on a party, go ahead and Show Limited. Just go ahead and click that. What it's going to do is it's going to keep all of your own personal battle effects, all of your particles. It's going to keep them how they should be. Your party battle effects, such as your DPS, they're going to be removed. So something like a summoner or a black mage, spamming out their AoEs, that's going to get removed. It's only going to show the damage counter. But something like like a white mage tossing down their bubbles, or an astrologian putting down their AoE heals, you definitely want to be able to see that. Otherwise, you may piss them off, or some other nonsense may occur. So the third tip I can give you guys is a pretty simple tip. Now, I didn't really know about this not till a long time ago, and I even forgot about it because I never really had an intention of using it until I actually, wanted to use it. And it is a pretty simple way to remove everything that is on your chat log. So you see this little chat box up here. You typically just talk nonsense all you want. Maybe you talk with your party members. Maybe you just talk with random players out in the field. We're going to spam it. We're going to say hello. If I can show up, there we go. We're going to say hello. We're going to say, so negativity. So bad. You suck. How are you this bad? And uninstall. So there you go. I think I misspelled uninstall, but whatever. So you're running through a dungeon, you run into a raid, and you just have very negative players, and you just want to finish, and you never want to see this again. Well, an easy way to basically solve that is to, one, you can log out, log back in. That will remove the entire chat box, but you will also get the ever so aforementioned maintenance and server conversations back on your chat box. The other way to do so is to just simply, completely hide the chat box. Or my favorite now is the clear log action. You can just do a /. You're going to type in clear and then log. And now we're going to click enter, and it will remove everything on the chat box. And I mean everything. I'm going to post the website, which has a ton more actions for you guys, in the description box below. So for tip number 4, let's go straight into the systems, and then we're going to go into character configuration. Notice how I don't have a name above my character. And you can also notice how I never have party member names above their characters unless I click them like so, or unless I actually want to interact with them in any way possible. So in character configuration, from the systems menu, we go down to display names on the left side, and then it's going to show up on own and others. We don't want to worry too much about NPCs in general, but with own, we want to have the own setting, go down to display name settings, and then just click on when targeted. Not always, but when targeted. We want to go down to display type. You can display your full name, your surname abbreviation, which just shows the first name and not the last name. The forename only shows the last name and not the first name, and then you can just have initials. But for this, then we're going to have title display show and HP bar settings when HP is below, etc. You can mess with this stuff, but that's generally a quota rule that you want to leave. Now for other party members, you can change alliance, you can change other NPCs, your friends, but for now we're just going to focus on party members. We're going to basically put display name settings on when targeted, display type on surname abbreviated, title display, you can just hide titles or show. It's just more clutter on the screen, so we want to minimize clutter as much as possible. HP bar settings, when HP is below 100%, companion, etc, etc. You kind of get the idea, and then just rinse and repeat, copy that to the rest of them. It'll make your combat a lot easier. You will have less names on the screen if you're going out to big pools for like giant world pools on Fates, or just a big S rank or hunts. You'll have less clutter on the screen. And for my final tip, it's not really a tip because I've already covered this stuff. The video that I've done on this is pretty much old, but it still does a pretty damn good job of doing so. It is going to be customizing your HUD. So the first example is, if you're joining the game, if you're new, the first thing you want to do is just spend your entire in-game day, like your entire play time. I know it's going to be frustrating because the game is brand new to you. You want to explore everything, but customize your HUD first. Spend as much time as you can as possible. You're going to see the little image on the bottom right corner of the video, but I will post a link to the video in the description box below. But yes, spend as much time as possible customizing your HUD, because that will go along with you for the rest of the playtime. If you're a veteran, or if you've just been playing for a while, customize your HUD, because the more you use your HUD, the more you'll get used to it in general. And you don't want to have a mediocre HUD and you've been playing for 200, 300, 400, 1,000 plus hours, and then you swap to a new HUD and you're completely lost as to what you're doing. Of course, if you're playing on console, this is a completely different story unless you're using a keyboard. But yes, that's going to be my last tip for you guys, and I hope you enjoy these tips, and just let me know in the comments if you want more videos like this. Hello world, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe here. You can also donate if interested in supporting the channel. More content to watch on the right side. If interested in joining in the Tempest Talons, info in the top left. And as always, good luck to you, and we'll see you next time.